Hi gang, Rob here. It's the afternoon of 7 July 2019. Sunday afternoon, just cutting together some video I thought you guys would like to see. I spent Friday evening and all day Saturday over at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course for an event they do every year, usually around the first part of July. AMA Vintage Motorcycle Days at Mid-Ohio. So it's an AMA, American Motorcyclists Association event. There is the largest vintage motorcycle swap meet in the country. Covers about 20 acres over, I think, 3 days, maybe 4, if you count vendor day. And then a ton of racing, various classes of vintage motorcycle racing. And as some of you guys might know, a couple of my buddies from our local vintage motorcycle parts and service center, Redline Power Sports, both race in the same class. Peter Kavon Tafey and Elaine Jackway. And we're going to look at lots of footage of them racing and some of the other classes as well. And I'm going to give you sort of a general tour of Mid-Ohio on Vintage Motorcycle Days weekend. And guys, if you're a middle-aged guy like me and you grew up lusting after riding and even maybe racing motorcycles, you remember what it looked like and smelled like and felt like back in the late 60s through late 70s. If you were a kid, a young man in America, a young lady in America, and a motorcycle nut. You remember that feeling. You've probably been trying to get it back ever since. Well, every year at Mid-Ohio, it comes back. When you watch some of the footage I took just sort of walking around, it looks like, well, if you've ever seen the movie On Any Sunday, a classic of classics for motorcyclists. If you've ever seen that movie, it happens live every summer at Mid-Ohio. And that's kind of what I wanted to try to capture for you, as well as some footage of my buddies racing. So here you go. Take a look. It's going to make you want to go. Hi gang, Rob here. It is the morning of 6 July 2019. I am at the Mid-Ohio Sports Car Course this week, home of AMA Vintage Motorcycle Weekend. Hanging out with the boys from Redline Power Sports in the big red bus. There's my steed for the trip, the old 95 ST 1100. We got Peter's vintage Honda Express, Lane's Trail 90. Of course, the big red bus home to Team 27. That's Lane's 350 Honda race bike. And then the new 988. This is a fresh build. Peter Kavon's 350. Fresh motor, new frame, new tank. Gorgeous seat cowl. Rocking some Eric Buell Racing seat foam on the pan. Last few minutes before the race meeting.
Here we are.
We got Dennis, we got Peter, we got Lane. What? Could you turn that up a little? Thank you. Oh, yeah. Of course, Lane has built Peter's new engine.
Bike, the whole bike.
How concerned are you that you built it too good?
Little.
A little?
He didn't build the racer though.
He didn't. Yeah, he didn't.
He didn't build the racer.
Motor runs good. You gotta get the racer faster.
The bike's faster than the rider.
So the 27 had a little issue yesterday. Snapped a cam chain,
Yeah.
but it'll be running today.
It's running.
It is now.
It is running. Weather looks good. It's going to be 90 and sunny with isolated showers. Well, it's a little after 8 o'clock on the hillside, looking over the S's. Group 2 practice has begun. is a beautiful day for racing in Mid-Ohio. I believe that's Peter. It is Peter. Somebody's a little off song. See if we can find a lane coming down into turn 5. This is he right here. Here he is. He's laying on the freshly rebuilt 350 Honda. Sounds pretty good. He will be fast. Down to the edge of the track. Here comes Pete. He's gonna overtake. Here comes Lane. Here's a shot from midway down the viewing hill in the S's at Mid-Ohio. This is pretty interesting. I started coming here 30 years ago. These pines that you see at the top of the hill, we used to have to be careful of because you could trample them. And take a look. Here's a shot of some scale with some spectators in front of them. You can't trample them anymore. Down in the parking and vendor area on the other side of the viewing hill going to the S's, this is awesome. It's like going back to 1973. The American Motor Drome Company Wall of Death. So notice it's shaped like a drum. Motorcycles run perpendicular to the ground inside that drum. It's awesome. Big old Oakley trailer. Might be time for a new set of specs. Looking across the infield now. There's the Cooper Tire Race Control Tower. I don't know if you can see the roof of that red tent. Title sponsor this year's Vintage Motorcycle Days, Honda. Honda. Shouldn't be a big surprise. Near Columbus, Ohio. Well, morning practice on the road course continues. But I thought I'd ride out by the main gate just to give you guys an idea of the chaos of Vintage Motorcycle Weekend at Mid-Ohio. Here's a shot down there at the main gate, looking out from the interior of the facility. I'm going to pan over here to the off-road area. It is an absolute mud bog today. Then the large camping area. Then we'll look up the road to the campground. Just look at all the interesting machinery that's going to go by. It's absolute chaos. If you guys have ever seen the movie from the early 70s On Any Sunday, from like 1971 or so, it's like we went back in time 40 years. It's just an awesome, awesome weekend. Here's a shot of the AMA billboard. And right past the fence is the keyhole of the road course. Here they come. And over here, Daddy's little fat girl, the ST. Climbing the wooden staircase now to the top of the berm, overlooking the top of the keyhole. We'll get a little footage. Move up a little higher. Here's another shot of the motocross area from a little higher vantage point. Here's a little better view. See them all the way down coming out of turn 1 through the chicane, and then a sort of a small carousel turn. This whole feature is known as the keyhole. In some racing series they do not use the chicane. Back in the day, Indy cars didn't use the chicane. I believe they do now. It's designed for safety. Helps slow them down a little bit. Good spot to get a nice panoramic. The central Ohio countryside. Your Geico insurance banner, a waving. Well, it's almost lunchtime. Next door to the bus, we got Margaret from Auburn, Indiana.
Hello.
How are you?
I'm great.
And you are the owner and rider of the best sounding motorcycle at Mid-Ohio.
That is for sure.
What is it?
It is a 71 354 Honda.
350 4-cylinder Honda. When I was a little kid, I rode on the back of these. And looks like you're sponsored by Godfather's MC.
I am, of course. They are my best sponsors.
And your dad.
And my dad, of course. Yeah, no. My dad. If it wasn't for my dad,
There's
I definitely
Jeff.
wouldn't be here.
Margaret's dad. How you doing, Jeff?
You're good.
Awesome, awesome motorcycle. And it keeps getting faster, doesn't it?
It does.
It does.
It does keep getting faster.
So we'll want to watch for this number 384. Which races are you running?
I'm running 3 and 7.
Oh, same one as Peter and Lane.
Yep.
Okay. Awesome. Good luck out there.
Thank you.
Well, look who showed up. Johnny Zoldbrack, Ducati rider extraordinaire. You're not racing this weekend though, are you, Johnny?
No, I'm not.
You got any words of wisdom for us?
Yeah, bike is ready, but I'm not.
The bike is ready, but you're not. I understand.
And don't crash on the warm-up lap.
We should tell Peter that.
Yeah, I've told him that all the time.
And
Make the race.
make the race. How do you think he's going to do on his start today?
Peg it.
Peter, starting.
Yeah, peg it. Slip the clutch.
Peg it, slip the clutch. Sounds like a good plan.
That's it.
We got about 1 hour till race
And
time.
if it's really lucky, the front wheel will come up just a little tad.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. Just lift it. Scare everybody else off.
Still got a little bit of time before race time. I thought I'd walk you around Peter Cavon's number 988 vintage racer. So what do we got here? Let's take a look at some of the things that make it different from the old street version. Up front, tachometer only, no speedometer. Extremely trick steering dampener. Aftermarket switches, grips, and levers. Bar end weights to reduce vibration. Up front, notice the CNC milled top triple clamp, and then a matching fork brace. Rocking the aluminum spoke wheels, polished brake drum. In the engine, notice no cover for the tack drive. Stainless steel custom fabricated exhaust going into a shielded collector and a modified megaphone tailpipe. The ignition on this bike is pretty interesting. Custom made electronic ignition with magneto. Notice no airbox, no battery. Stock carburetors. Rear set foot pegs in cast aluminum mounts. Required belly pan. Custom seat cowl with Eric Buell Racing seat foam. There's the catch can. Is there any oil that might be spewed out when the engine lets go to keep oil off the track? Pretty cool machine, built this winter, finished this spring. Let's see how she runs. The brake in the action. We got a little girl decorating herself and her grandpa with clover.
Where's your vehicle?
How cute. Well, I hear behind us race 1 has begun. Actually, race 1 and 2 combined. See if we can catch them coming down the back straight. It sounds like they're up in the keyhole. Some corner workers. We should be hearing them thunder down the hill.
Yeah, it's on the way. How tall is that? What's going on? Tell me everything. So, tell me about the grass.
Ooh, nice inside pass coming into. Pretty tight group. Second lap. Two-stroke leading the pack. Here comes a hot pursuit right here. Will he get him? Will he get him? Nope. Yeah.
There's definitely no more than enough floor.
Sure that's not Tom running last?
Oh yeah. No.
I think that's Tom running last. 049, that is.
Oh, it is?
Yep. Third lap, race 1. Here comes an overtake. Trying on the outside, didn't get it done. Oh, he switched him up and got him. Nice move. And the 2 Beamers will be coming Sunday. Someday, they're coming, I promise. Come on, guys. There we go. Here's our buddy Tom, bringing up the rear. He's actually providing a valuable public service, making sure nobody attacks the pack from the rear. And they're coming around again. The gap between first and second widens. Wow, our first 4 riders are all riding in clean air. Here comes the battle. Tight shot of these guys leaning at the top of these S's. And the Jeopardy music plays for the 2 Beamers. Talk amongst yourselves. There they are. Oh, somebody's getting lapped. Oh, no. Whoa, that was actually an aggressive overtake maneuver. They must have swapped positions.
Yeah, he must have taken him somewhere. Tom did, and he decided.
Yeah?
Have none of that.
One of 3 CBXs in this race. Notice the 3 tailpipes on the right side of the bike. 3 more on the other side. There's another one. Here's a good duel back in the pack.
Kind of like a lifting a sidecar.
And there's your winner. Here comes the warm-up lap for race 3. Lane's number 27. There's Peter, number 988. Just trying to get a little bit of a reference for where to find them when the race starts. I've changed positions all the way down to the short chute between the first 2 legs of the S's. Waiting for race 3 to start. We should get some good footage from here. I hear them. They're heading the other way, heading down to the keyhole. We'll be coming down this back straight to turn 4. Before we see the bikes, let's take a quick shot back up the hill. There is the souvenir and concession stand. And here's a shot of the rather sparse crowd. I'll smartly find in the shade. And we'll pan back around. I think I hear them heading this way. I bet we're going to see a number 27 near the front. Lane's already up to second. Peter making up ground. 5th or 6th place. Let's try to find Margaret. I missed her. They're heading this way, second time around. And there's Lane in second. Might take a little work to get past that first guy. Peter running 6th. There's old Doc on the 32 Indian. And around they're coming again. Old Lane seems to have found some competition. He's not catching that first guy. 3, 4. Peter up to 5th. Got a little loose there coming out of 4. I don't know if Margaret was at DNS because I have not been able to locate her. Her in the black and green leathers. All right, now I've found her. I just hadn't seen her with her leathers on this weekend. And here comes Doc sporting the red Indian t-shirt over his leathers on the yellow 32 Indian. And old Tom. Wait, not old Tom. Here's old Tom. He was scouting for savages on the race 1 on the Beamer. Now he's scouting for savages on the old 2-stroke, making sure the back of the pack isn't attacked from behind. Thanks for taking one for the team, Tom. Uh-oh. Go, Lane, you go, buddy. Get him, get him. I think you picked up some ground that time around. Those first 2 guys are way ahead of everybody else. I can't believe Lane's had this much competition. And 3, Peter up to 4th. Peter's going to be pretty happy with this new bike. If the only guy in front of them is Lane when it's all over. Of course, we got that ringer running first. We're not sure what happened there. Here comes Margaret. Uh-oh. This is not good. Not good at all. The 354 sounds to be running on 3 cylinders. It sure does. Not good. Not good for the Godfather's team. I think this is our leader again. Oh no, sorry guys. Yes, it was our leader. He lapped Doc, and Lane's about to lap Doc. And he got him off of 5. Lots of lap traffic. It's gonna get complicated from here, guys. We'll look for that red and yellow 988. Here he comes. Looking good, Pete. Looking good. Leading a very competitive second pack through the S's is Peter. We'll keep our eyes out again, see if we can get a bead on that 4-cylinder 350 of Margaret's, but I think we've had a mechanical issue. So far, no work for the Marshalls in race 3. And here she comes. Listen close. Not good. It is not good at all, guys. Not good at all. Here's our leader, overtaking a back marker. Sailed by him. Now we should see the 27. Here he is. Lane is not gaining ground. And let's see how far back to Peter. You guys counting? It's a long way back. There's Tom bringing up the rear. He's been lapped by 2 guys. And there's Doc. And there's Pete. Hot on the tail of the doctor. Not good for Maggie. There's your winner. And here's Lane running second. And here's a lapped rider. Next up, another lapped rider. Coming soon should be your final podium finisher, number 988. Peter, Kayvon.
You would have won today.
Well,
I ain't winning the race. Not unless he breaks down.
we had a reporting error from the track side.
Yes.
We thought Lane was in second, but that guy was in a different class. The winner of race 3, number 27, Lane Jackway, as usual. And then number 2 on the podium in his brand new black Alpine Star leathers, which don't fit.
Yes, they do.
Peter, how'd that new bike run?
It runs very well. It's very fast. Faster than I am.
You drove by everybody in front of you except that guy.
And the guy ahead of him.
But he didn't count.
Yeah, you didn't count.
Different class.
Lately, we're not counting Lane. He just always gets first.
But you know, all it would take is 6 or 7 mistakes of Lane in race number 7, and you could win.
Or a mechanical on his part. So there's a chance.
There is a chance. Kind of like there was a chance that Lauren Holly was going to
Yeah, well,
marry Jim Carrey. Oh wait, she did in real life. And she divorced him. Yeah.
Lane, there's always that chance. Oh, I know. But I can dream about my first place.
Guys, you got to check this out. Everybody remembers the old Honda CB400 F Super Sport. Notice the side cover. 800 V8. Yes, your eyes do not deceive you. Those are a pair of 400F blocks and heads mounted on custom-made cases. It's an 800cc V8 motorcycle. Unreal. And here's the Honda tent. A broad spectrum view of Honda's history. The 80s VFR 750. The old 750A Honda-matic. CBX, and the motorcycle that changed a lot of minds in America. '69 or '70 CB750.
I was trying to get a picture there.
Oh, you're fine.
Sorry.
You're fine. There's a 75 GL1000 Goldwing. Very similar to my old 77, you guys might remember. The Mini Trail 50 that used to beat the snot out of all your Briggs & Stratton hardware store mini bikes. You guys remember, I know you do. And then the modern reincarnation, the monkey bike. Ooh, looky here. It's a brand new GL 1800 with its funky front suspension, its dual clutch automatic transmission. Lots of history, guys, in this tent. Here's the VJMC tent, Vintage Japanese Motorcycle Club. They have, I am told, a vast array of 750s. Here's old Johnny taking pictures. There's a K0.
Yep.
But that bike, not as old as Johnny.
Not quite.
Okay guys, I have no idea what class we're watching. But we were on our way back to the paddock. And Johnny thought, hey, let's stop and watch a lap from here. Pretty cool view. Wait to see some bikes emerge from under the bridge here. There we go. I believe that's an old VFR, isn't it? Far in the distance, the paddock. Swap meet. This is actually turn 1, so the first left-hander before you head up for the keyhole. And where you're seeing bikes come down from your left to right in the background, that is the back straight that runs down to turn 4, the beginning of the S is where we were before. Hey Johnny, you got any good ice fishing stories?
Yeah. Some guy was sitting across from me and he hollered, what time is it? So I go, he said, I can't hear what you're saying. He said, I'm trying to keep the damn worm warm.
We await the start of race 7, Lane and Peter's second race. You can see the skies have thickened. It's raining like everywhere around mid-Ohio, but not on the racetrack. Looks like my shower for the day will be during the 2.5-hour ride home. So we are on the outside of turn 1. If you look right over there, that's where that last footage came from. So we're in the grandstands we were looking at from there. Just gonna catch these guys into turn 1, then we're gonna sweep down the uphill straight with the keyhole. So we'll be able to see them just as they cross the finish line in this race. I didn't catch the warm-up lap on camera, but I think Lane starts in about 3rd spot, but I believe the 500 class guy is ahead of him. The guy that didn't matter last time. What we'll do is keep an eye out for the full fairinged bike. That bike is not in Lane and Peter's class, so sorry I messed us up last time counting him. We should about be done with the warm-up lap and lining up. Take a look over the lower paddock, the Cooper Tires Tower. In the distance, if you look over the bridge, the new scoring tower. We're not quite sure why they didn't use the last 30 feet of it, but they didn't. And we are away, the word coming from the public address announcer. Here we go. Lane and Peter were running right together. Didn't know if we could see this, but you can actually see bikes going through the cut in the keyhole. Now we will, I think, be able to catch them. Yes, we will. Coming down the back stretch. Leaders are coming to the start-finish line for the end of lap number 1. Should be emerging from the bridge here momentarily. 2 higher class bikes out front. And there's Lane running first. Who's in second. Peter running 4th. That's some racing right there. Somebody's a little off. Peter takes a spot. I think I just heard Ryder down. We got a red flag situation. Don't know who it was, but several riders involved down in turn 4 at the beginning of the S's. Could be a minute before we're going again. Okay, being reported by race control, it was, believe it or not, looking at that sky, a pop-up shower in that corner of the racetrack, turn 4, took out several riders. Gonna be a few minutes. Well, bad news. 2 of the motorcycles involved in that turn 4 crash were ours. A little bit of front fender and fender strut damage on Peter's bike. Not sure what's up with Lane, but minor stuff. They've moved race 7 to the end of the day, so if you guys can work on their bikes and get them back in. Nobody's seriously hurt.
I didn't know. I didn't know.
So, word around the paddock is that there was no rain, that you just caused a big accident. Is that true?
That's a lie.
That's a lie?
It rained.
Lori, how much is he paying you, Lori?
Yep, we saw him go down, just like little weebles.
And I was in the wrong place.
Actually, it was just like dominoes.
Just like dominoes?
One went down, then the next went down, then the next went down.
Like lemmings off the edge of a cliff.
Yep.
We're close. Well, doggone it, guys. That was kind of an anticlimactic end to our Saturday. As you gathered from the footage, race number 7, which was the second race for Peter and Lane and Margaret and Tom, it ended in the middle of the second lap. Rain showers happened right at the beginning of the S's, where some of the earlier in the day footage was taken. Lane was the first guy to hit the raindrops on the track, and Mid-Ohio is a really greasy track on a warm, dry day. Add a little bit of water and it becomes undrivable for a motorcycle. Lane was the first one to learn that. The second guy in was Peter. Lane took a pretty easy trip into the kitty litter, immediately got his bike back up, and just as he's assessing the situation, he looks up and here comes Peter. And at this point, Lane is a bowling pin. Peter whacks him, knocks his bike over. Lane's bike comes to rest on top of Peter's bike. And then it was Keystone Cops from there. I bugged out of there about 4 o'clock and tried to dodge the showers on the way home. I wasn't very successful in the first hour. Went through an absolute monsoon, went through a puddle over my feet on the ST 1100. I couldn't see. Barely made it to the first rest area, about 40 miles out, and waited for things to dry out, and then dodged the rest of the rain showers all the way home. So, and as for the guys who stayed at the track, that race and really all the races left in Saturday were rained out by the same storm that got me as I headed west. So don't know what happened today yet. I haven't talked to Peter or Lane yet on Sunday, but neither here nor there for you guys. Just wanted to give you a taste of what vintage motorcycle racing is like as a spectator from a race paddock perspective. And also just, I hope, a little bit of the flavor of vintage motorcycle days, the AMA event in Mid-Ohio. Hope you enjoyed it. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday. Grace to you and peace, my friends, from God our Father and the Lord Jesus Christ. And remember, the word is sharp.